What is going on, everybody? Today I want to try and get our copper slimes. So we've got a good amount. It's just one anode basket, so it's not like it's going to be a huge amount of goodies in there. But it'd be a good experiment to see, when a bag is done, what can we expect out of it. So let me get gloved up and let's check it out. All right. So I want to try something. So these bags, these filters, they're like $13 a piece, right? And I expect the majority of our metals in the bag to be copper. So we may get a few precious metals, but what I don't want to do is I don't want to waste the bag. Well, I mean, it might be done, but I'm not sure. So what I want to try is basically just spray it out. I want to fold it inside out, spray it off as best as I can, and see if I can reuse it. That'll keep cost down on the copper cell, leaving us more profits for our precious metals. So here we go. It feels pretty good. And I know we're not going to get everything out of it. The bag, that is. Alright. But it would be interesting to see if they can be reused. I think the silver cell would be a little different. So I think there's a whole bunch more precious metals on the silver cell than there would be the copper cell. That's just an idea. Could be the wrong idea. so don't take that, or I should say take that with a grain of salt. I'm going to flip this back inside out. So like we can see, there's a couple of chunks in there. It should run, no problem. The conditions it's currently in. Especially after a quick swap like that. It's going to go right back in there, and we're going to go ahead and test that out again. Alright, gloves are cleaned up. Kind of cleaned up my workspace here. Now I did, anything that did hit the ground, or the workbench, I did wipe up, and I am keeping that with my, my bench wipes. So, any precious metal that may be lost from falling out is collected, and we'll get it back later. Let's see here. It looks like I missed a spot. There we go. Alright, well, we're just going to add a little bit more distilled water here. And we're going to go ahead and put some nitric in. Alright. I think I'm just going to fill this up with 50 mils. And we'll dose it in there. I'm not really sure what we're going to start off for a weight. So I guess we'll start off with 25 mils. Of nitric. There we go. And then we'll attack the rest of it. And possibly need more, because like I could see quite a bit of copper down there. Alright, let's get that on a boil and do its thing. I think it's time to add some more nitric. We're going to have to be careful because we've got a good boil going on. Let's see if we have any flare-ups here. Oh yeah. Get you in a close-up on that. Little bits at a time. It's kind of interesting. We can see the color change. It went from like a dark gray to that copper blue. Let's see. We put probably 15 in. We got I'd say 12. We got about 12 and a half left. 12 left. 13 left. Somewhere in there. All right. Well, let's let that eat. We'll get back to you in a little bit. All right. We can see that nitric just eating away after I added that, let's say 13 milliliters. Doing its thing. Well, that was pretty quick. I really haven't got a time to go upstairs yet, and it's kind of died down already. So we're just going to go ahead and put a little bit more in. There we go. So we got 50 in so far. I don't see any more reaction, and we're getting a little low on solution. So definitely have some goodies in the bottom. Definitely looks like silver. Alright, well, let's add a little bit more distilled water. Let's get that back up there. And I think I've got a big chunk of spoon in there, so I'm going to go ahead and put quite a bit of nitric in there. Not quite a bit, but probably like another 50 or... And the reaction shouldn't be crazy because we just diluted it. Here, I do want to show you this though. There. So see, watch the color as I pour the nitric in. See it change like that? It's kind of cool. Alright, well, let's get it back on the heat. Alright, last recording of the night. Let's see what we got. I don't see any fumes being produced anymore. So I'd say we're out of nitric. At least at first glance. Let's see what we have. If we have any material in the bottom. Oh yeah, we still have plenty of material. Now, I don't think that would be tin. Because if we had any tin, it would have went into the copper solution. So, yeah, let's let that settle and see if we can see it clear up a little bit. Alright, we're back here. So check this out. I kind of disturbed it, moving it off the hot plate. So we have a little bit of, I'm definitely going to have to say that's tin, kind of floating there in the solution. And I imagine that's from that leftover spoon that wasn't fully consumed by the cell. So that's where I'm going to say that came from. Whether it's true or right, I'm not too sure, but that's my initial hypothesis. All right. Well, the solution is pretty dark. If I pour any distilled water in here, it's just going to disturb it. I'm going to give it a go anyways. Let's just check this out quick. Yeah, definitely. Alright, well, I could see some heavier stuff kind of float up and then sink right back down. don't know if you could see that, but all right there. That must be, well, it looks like silver, cemented silver. So I'm going to add just a little bit more nitric. And we're probably just going to need the dropper at this point. So let's see, I'm going to start with 3. And we'll go 6. We'll just see how that does, where that gets us. All right. And of course, we got to get that bad boy back on the heat plate here. I'm thinking we should have the rest of this dissolved today, and we can start to hopefully cement it out. Well, we do have a little bit of a reaction now that we've got some heat and some nitric acid, and we can see a piece of silver right where my finger was. Right there, floating. Alright, what's going on, guys? It is time to filter this out. I don't have any more reaction going on. And there may be a little bit more metal down there. I'm not too sure. We'll have to check that out when it comes to filtering. So I've got 2 filter papers in there just because I know there's some tin, which is kind of a pain in the rear to filter. Let's see here. Any of the heavy stuff will stay at the bottom. Alright. Which I would definitely say we've got, we still have metals to dissolve. So we'll let that continue to filter out. And we'll go ahead and put some fresh nitric in here. Just a little bit. I want to keep my solution under 1,000 so I can keep it all in the same flask here. Those look like they were pretty big chunks, so we're up to 9, 12, all right, we got 18 in there. Well, I'm just going to use the residual heat from the burner. We're sitting here at, it's about 10 o'clock. So, we're going to go ahead and let that do its thing. Hopefully start the cementation tomorrow. Alright, so we're going on our second filtration of this copper cell slimes. I'm definitely intrigued to see exactly how much silver we're going to get out of there. So, definitely a lot of tin. I can't say if there's a whole bunch of other precious metals in there. I'll definitely have to be careful of that in the future because the tin is going to be a pain in the rear. But I know we at least have some silver in there, so I'm happy with that. It'd be interesting to see how much we get. I imagine this is going to take a little while to come through, how packed those filters are. Alright, well, I'll bring you back in where we got this all filtered out. As we can see, hold on, I'll get you a close-up here. We've got nothing coming out of there yet. So, that's going to take a little while. Alright, so we have our solution diluted. Nice and filtered. Time for some copper. See what we get. Anything good right off the bat? Nothing crazy. We'll check back on this here in a little bit. See what we have for formation. You can see a little bit coming out. Perfect. All right. Well, let's check it back on it in a little bit. The copper cell didn't give me too much, so we do have a little bit down there. But to be honest, it's going to be really, really hard to clean because of how fine it is. So in the future, what I might do is precipitate this stuff out as silver chloride, just so that we get a bigger substance to deal with, because that's kind of like colloidal gold, and every wash I do, but let's just say by the time I'm done rinsing that and cleaning it up, we'll be dealing with probably less than a gram. So I'm just going to save this, and then we'll redissolve it with the next batch, and we'll go from there. And there we have it, the copper cell slimes. Not bad, not bad. And it was just one filter, so it's really not a good example. I mean, I guess it kind of is a good example, but definitely going to want to wait to do a bigger batch, like a higher quantity. So maybe in the future, what I'll do is, so I still have it running right now. What I might do is when the amps start to get low, is I just might collect the slimes, throw it back in there, and we'll wait till we deal with a decent amount of actual slimes, because that silver is going to be really tough to deal with. It's very fine, and like I was kind of saying in that previous clip, as soon as I start to watch that stuff, it is we're going to lose a lot of it just because of how small it is. Another thing that might be worth looking into is redissolving it in a smaller amount of solution, and then trying to cement it out, or go right into silver chloride. So I need to start collecting some of that, right? I need to start collecting some silver chloride. So I might do some of that, especially if I know it's going to be a smaller amount like that. And then we'll just keep adding it up, adding until we get enough, and then we'll break out that Lion Sugar method. So I know I've told you guys I'm going to do that. It's on the refining bucket list. I'll tell you that. It's on the bucket list. It looks like a really cool process. It's capable of producing really pure silver. There's no question about that. But see, I just run all mine through the silver cell. So I suppose it doesn't hurt to really purify it and then run it through the cell. It's definitely a lot easier on the electrolyte, but I know you go through a whole bunch more rinse cycles than just a little rinse on the cement silver and then stick it into the cell. But yeah, there it is, copper cell slimes. Oh, and just another update, if you guys are interested, we've got the giveaway, the 1,250 sub giveaway going on. And what I'll do is I'll link that video to this guy here, so it'll be the one at the end. You can click on it, and that'll it's a short video. We're gonna do that this Friday. Hold on, I should have prepared. Let me see here. Pull up the calendar. Well, you don't need. All right, so today is the 13th. It'll be Friday the 16th, and I'll link a video here. Just go ahead and follow that. You can watch that video. It's just a brief video, but it'll show you all the rewards that you can, or the winnings you can possibly get, and then the details on how to get entered in the winnings. So, well, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope to see you on the next one.